Hi friends, welcome back to our Compassion Camp studio. I am here to tell you our Bible story. And remember what we're talking about with Compassion Camp. Compassion means I see your hurt, I feel your hurt with you, and I will work to ease your hurt. So this story involves some heavy lifting, a massive hole, and some neighbors who took a risk to help a friend who lost the ability to use their legs. So I want you to listen for surprising moments where compassion helps people be brave. Okay? Are you ready to hear the story? So one day, Jesus visited someone's home. Everyone heard he was there. They were so excited to see him because they heard he healed and helped people be a part of their communities again. And that was a big deal. A friend who was paralyzed had his friends take him to see Jesus. When the group got there, it was so crowded. There was no way to get to Jesus through all the people. But they had an idea. They climbed onto the roof of the house and made a hole in the roof above where Jesus was. Then they lowered their friend into the room. When Jesus saw their faith, he was encouraged. He told their friend, "I see you and I love you. You are made whole for your community. Your sins are forgiven." Some temple leaders called scribes were watching Jesus. When they heard him say this to the friend who was paralyzed, they were angry. They thought to themselves, "Who does Jesus think he is? Only God can do these things." Jesus could tell the scribes disagreed with him, so he said to them, "I know what you're thinking right now, but what's easier, to say I see you and I love you, or get up and walk?" I'll show you that it's possible to do both. With compassion, Jesus turned to the friend who was paralyzed and said, "Get up, pick up your mat and go home. You're healed." He stood up, amazed. He picked up his mat and went home with his friends. Everyone was so happy. They praised God because they had never seen anything like this before. We might think we only need to be brave for big, scary things. We might think being brave is only for superheroes. But whether it's for a friend or stranger, a family member or neighbor, or even for ourselves, compassion helps us be brave. Sometimes being brave means being like the friends by showing up for someone, helping carry their burdens, helping them get where they need to be, and standing with them. Sometimes being brave means being like the friend who was paralyzed by sharing your own story and asking for what you need. And sometimes being brave means being like Jesus by fully accepting and seeing a person. So I want you to find the page in your family guide that has ask, imagine together, and then this picture at the bottom. So I want you to ask some questions with your family right now. What do you think it means to be brave? What does it feel like? Who was brave to you in this story? What do you think the friend who was paralyzed felt when he was healed? How do you think he felt when he was able to be in his community again? And then I want you to move to the Imagine Together section. Can you imagine what the friends feel for their friend who was paralyzed? Or the friend who was paralyzed, how did he feel? Or the owner of the house where they cut the roof open? Or how did Jesus feel? What do you imagine the crowd was feeling? What do you imagine all the disciples were feeling? So after you get done answering all those questions with your family, make sure you each color your to the neighbor picture and add it to your string that you can hang up in your house and so you can remember. So whenever you see it, It will remind you that compassion helps us to be brave. And that is the thing that we are going to take with us from this session. Well, friends, thank you for joining me again today for Compassion Camp, and I can't wait to see you again in our next video. Bye!